Welcome back here at Goldberg. Today I'll be discussing this story out of New York from a few years back that I think helps crystallize the dilemma facing many a young fellow both in the present era and sometimes past. This particular gentleman, I want to say, comes from a migrant background. His name is Hand Job Kim, and he worked very hard for much of his existence to attain a high status position as a spinal surgeon. So this is going to entail in high school probably not socializing as much, less parties, smashing those books. In college, medical school, residency, 10 to 12 years to become a surgeon and make $3 million a year working in New York City. He probably pays taxes in 12 months beyond what the average American will in 10 years. So Richard Blooper 100% approves of him. He is an icon to us all. The only guy I've found that really can give him a run for the money, also Asian, haha, Navy SEAL, Harvard Medical School, and astronaut. But I wouldn't say hand job here is exactly slacking. And on top of that, he's what, high tier Asian normie or Chang, actually perhaps because it's Korean, Park Light. So as much as he's hit that pinnacle, everyone respects him. He wants another step. He wants social proof. He wants to really manifest that it isn't just him being a worker bee, but in fact he can attain love, satisfaction, and devotion from a bona fide trad wife. And so he meets this former Miss Connecticut, Regina. Now, he is, by the way, the type of fellow that would be placed on some coping ethnic subreddit by Eurasian Tiger, claiming, when a white girl gets with an Asian guy, it's because she truly loves him. And yeah, she should be worshiping the ground this guy stands on. But it's an element of the black pill people don't grasp. They'll go, this guy has a girlfriend, he got married. Yeah, but does she truly respect and love and devote herself to him? Different question. Because while he was probably putting her up in a mansion, giving her a brand new Porsche Cayenne, taking her to resorts in Bali, fancy dinners, designer clothes, she's working on a startup. By that, she means starting up her male clients, mixing the eggs in the batter. Probably some of his friends and associate surgeons or physicians she was also making money from. 675K in 6 years, although that's what's been recorded, probably more off the books, I would imagine over $1 million. So she didn't even respect him enough to do the whole have a kid and then take his money through child support and alimony. No, she is just, he's kissing her goodnight after she's serviced some other physician, some other rich executive. Now, this is truly brutal, but this is how we have to push back against all the false narratives, because outwardly people would say, oh, it's a success couple. Oh, look, he's ethnic, but he got a white woman. He must be triumphant. But how is he actually being treated? Is he truly being afforded those benefits? He dedicated the best years of his life to reaching this position. I'm sure there's a personal motivation. Oh, I get to be a spinal surgeon, I'm helping others. But he still can't attain that baseline of proper behavior from a woman. We have this fellow in contrast, and Western Decline was discussing him as sex addict from soft white underbelly. So this dude has drug problems, alcohol problems, tattoo problems. He admits to sleeping with underage girls. And it's interesting, recently there's been this controversy on YouTube from Cody Ko. I thought it was a black girl, but it's actually a black dude who did this expose. We got to talk about Cody Ko. The claim is that he was 25 and he hooked up with some fangirl who's 17 at a convention. And everyone's out to, oh, he's got to be arrested, he has to be charged. Now, this is how, it's fascinating how society works. Because if your 17-year-old daughter wants to become a man, or perhaps she's trying to have an abortion without parental consent, if she wants to have a train run on her by the football team, that's perfectly acceptable. No problem whatsoever. Now, if you had a 24-year-old guy who's just got a job, he's not trying to ply her with alcohol or drugs, just wants to have a normal relationship that perhaps leads somewhere, he should be arrested, put on a registry, charged, because that's considered deviant behavior. But back to the guy with the tattoos. He joins the military, he's having orgies with Thai girls, he gets kicked out, he's working in some restaurant as a fry cook or bussy boy, and yet he meets a virgin trad wife, and now he's got a kid. All that problem, all his degeneracy, all his being a parasite didn't prevent him from getting a woman who's probably more loyal, and he gets to reproduce. He really should be sterilized, but he gets to reproduce. Think of how many girls he ruined. He ran through that other guys had to pick up the pieces. He gets more respect than this hardworking kimchi cell who is a spinal surgeon. Now, how do you figure that one? And it brings us to Todd, the autistic hermit. Not Happy Humble Hermit. But this dude used to be a career maxer. Then he decided, screw it. He went on disability so he doesn't have to pay taxes and he just lives his life. And you could go, oh, he's a loser. He's a parasite. We had this debate in the worst MGTOW argument video that a lot of guys, even though they hate the system, which doesn't reward them, they still want to pay taxes into it, be a good consumer, be a good worker bee. But it's increasingly becoming a question of should you struggle so much like that kimchi cell? Should you try to make something, have high status, be a Richard Blooper type, or should you just say screw it? Because honestly, this guy who is basically a parasite economically, you could make the argument, he's got more time. He probably can smash more women than some guy who's busy running his medical practice, doing surgeries, or a guy who's running like a legit LLC, doing yard work or construction, whatever it might happen to be. It isn't to say that women are the end all, obviously, but just your own time. Even if you're sitting there playing video games, just messing around, you have more time by just dropping out of society. And that's going to be the real debate I want to pose to you. Would you rather make something yourself, whether it's actually a spinal surgeon or just having a decent job, having your house, paying your bills, occasionally having some time off? Or do you want to say, no, I'm just going to go, not go goals, but go parasite?